Like many kids in the early 2000s, I was getting kicked out of schools and parks with my other skateboarding friends. I got my first skateboard in 1999, and it took me a good long time to even be able to just ride the board.
No Stall by Jimmy.
Over the course of the summer between 7th and 8th grade though, I actually started getting into it. I got my first digital camera where I can edit the footage and add music to it. We started shooting skate videos everywhere we went. Then finally, the city of Diamond Bar opened their own skate park.
This is the skate park.
We were there for the first time just weeks after it opened back in July of 2000. We were not very good. We could barely even ride up and down the ramps. But it wasn't long until it became my favorite skating spot. As one of the many things I'm revisiting here in 2017, I've decided to take a trip back to the park. And it's been like 8 years since I've been at this skate park. Or any skate park for that matter. And it's honestly been at least 6 months since I've even stepped foot on a board. So, I think it'll be okay. It's good. It took a good little while to get a feel for it again, but slowly it started coming back to me, like riding a bike or, skateboarding. After several attempts, I was able to land one of my favorite tricks, a finger flip. And a few others. Felt really good to go out skating again. It was alright. I guess I feel like it's still all there, even if I can't or don't want to do a lot of it. I feel good. I'm gonna have whiplash for 2 or 3 days, but I feel good about that. There was a time when I wasn't all that bad on a board. Before I started Team Defy, we had a skate team. Kind of. We wanted to make skate videos like the ones we saw on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Of course, we were not very good. And I never would have gotten to skateboarding or even freerunning if it weren't for Mikey. Mikey moved in when I was in 6th grade and introduced skateboarding to our group of friends. Out of all of us, he was the only one who was actually kinda good. We used to bring our camera everywhere we went back in 2000 and filmed everything. But there wasn't anything we could do with the footage. In 2002, I got my first digital camera and it came with editing software. We could finally make a skate video like the ones we would watch on our VHS tapes. The camera was terrible, and I mean terrible. But it was enough for us to make skate videos with it. And it was what got me started with filmmaking. We made our first skate video in 2002 and simply called it Skate Video 2002. Yeah. It was my first attempt at making a video and we got much better at it with our next video called Rise Above. Look at that production value. Look at that clip art. I finally got a good digital camera and editing software in 2003 and we put together a full skate video called Wrecked. What? Where's the disc? Could have sworn it was here, it was just... Ah, damn. Well, luckily I still got my VHS copy. I think. Maybe? Anyway, other than our poor skating skills, it's not that bad and it's still fun to watch. You could certainly see our influences in the videos from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater to famous skate videos to individual skaters like Rodney Mullen. Rodney Mullen was my idol, and more than anyone else influenced my skateboarding and eventually freerunning. For those who don't know who Rodney is, he invented a ton of the tricks that people use today, and he did things that looked impossible on a board. I wanted to do those tricks, and to have my own unique style. Since I'd never be traditionally good, I went for things that no one else was going for. Now, I was never all that good at normal tricks, kick flips, heel flips, 360 flips. I was interested in the big jumps or tricks that involved balancing, or unique tricks like finger flips and acid drop grinds, and skating off roofs. I was pretty resilient when I was skateboarding. I fell. A lot. And took a bunch of boards with me. In fact, some of the only injuries I can still feel today all came from skateboarding. I must have rolled my ankle at least a dozen times. While skateboarding and eventually doing flips, I never feared injury. But at some point, I can't even say when, the thought appeared in my head, wait a minute, I can get hurt from this. This can cause injury. I started to doubt my abilities and actually worried about rolling ankles or breaking bones. I don't know if it was getting older or heavier, but I felt like I couldn't do the big tricks I used to. Maybe it's a matter of passion. I devoted myself to skateboarding when I was doing it, and I devoted myself to freerunning afterwards. Maybe what it comes down to is it's just not worth it for me anymore. The risk of injury is greater than the desire for success. Even though skateboarding is what got me started, letting go is just not as big of a deal for me. Now, I'm not saying I'll never skate again, but if I never progressed or filmed or did anything other than skate for myself, I think I'd be okay with that. I'm going to be sad one day though when I don't have the will to do freerunning and flips anymore, but I think I'm ready to let skateboarding go.